welcome back to another exciting episode of the Outhouse podcast. I am one of your hosts, Avery Fair, joined by my buddy Ted Kosick. Teddy, I can't see you, but I'm missing your face. How you doing, man?
It's a real podcast. We're doing it. We've elevated or de-elevated our game, you know?
Yeah, you may be wondering what the hell is going on. Hopefully, when I get this up on YouTube, you'll just see two still faces of us. What is happening is that I am currently in Wisconsin, and it's pretty cold over here. But I'm over here to celebrate Father's Day and Grandma's birthday, so we decided to crank this out really fast because you have a trip coming up, don't you, Pop?
Yep, I leave Wednesday for Europe for about 2.5 weeks, so I'll be gone. Just got back from LA a couple days ago, so I haven't played video games in quite a minute. Although, I saw a lot of video games last week, and I think that's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, so you said you were over in L.A. What were you doing over there, huh?
The City of Angels.
You're being Ubisoft's top E3 correspondent?
Yep, that's not exactly at all what I was doing. I was down there, went to the Xbox conference, and then the Ubisoft conference, obviously, and then walked around the show floor for a couple days. Just kind of saw some games, felt it out a little bit, talked to some people.
Oh, yeah. Nice. That is, correct me if I'm wrong, but that is E3 number 2 under your belt.
Big old number 2, That's what they say.
Nice.
The second
nice
time's the best,
smelly number 2.
Ooh.
Nice. So obviously, as you can hopefully see, the topics will just be strictly E3 recapping, and then I think I had the rapid roundup there, but it's probably not going to be anything. So yeah,
Great.
Most of the podcast today is going to be about E3, what Teddy saw over there, what many of you saw through the conferences, and basically what we thought about it. So we're just going to kind of start with the first conference that happened on Saturday, what was that, June 6th or something? 8th?
Yeah, that's about right.
With E3 Play. So with E3, I'm sorry, God, I said this before we started.
E3 Play? Interesting.
I'm a fucking idiot. Now, so with E3, with EA Play, again,
E3 Play.
Again.
Okay.
I'm fucking done. With EA Play, we saw a extended look gameplay trailer of Star Wars Fallen Jedi Order. So
Jedi Fallen Order?
Is that what it is? It's whatever. It's what's happening. I'm over here in the fake land of the time zone. Okay, it's fucking 8:48 over here. I don't know whether to be tired, energetic, hungry. But so Star Wars. What do you think about Pop?
I thought it was all right. I think it. I don't know. The gameplay trailer that they showed in the, I guess, do you call it a conference? In their conference itself was, I don't know, to me it didn't seem all that exciting or all that new from anything that we've seen before. It just seemed like a slow Star Wars game. The combat, visually looking at, didn't seem that great. Although, a lot of articles and reports afterwards have said that the combat's actually quite in-depth and kind of like freestyle almost. And it's not just mashing R2 or something over and over again. So I guess maybe it's just a way that it presents itself when you're not playing it is a bit different. But I don't know. It should be cool. I mean, I'm still excited for the game. I'll still play it. It's a Star Wars game, and if it's any decent, then it should be a good time.
Right. Just before I get into it, I don't know if you heard a bird flap its wings very aggressively, but
I did not.
Good for you. If anybody does hear birds, it's because I'm sitting on the patio, and Teddy said it sounds like a rainforest out here. So just getting some nature.
A little bit. When you're nice and quiet, your microphone picks up the bird noises. It's kind of soothing,
But no, yeah, I'm pretty much with you on that. When I was watching the Star Wars trailer, and first of all, I mean, we'll get into this later down the podcast, but this was one of the few trailers and footages we saw that had true gameplay. So it was actually a sight for sore eyes later down the road. But yeah, I'm with you. I mean, it looks like your typical action adventure third person Star Wars game. I think I might have been a bit more impressed, I think, by the combat than you might have been at first. I thought it looked pretty badass. Some of the moves that he was able to do, what's his name, Cal, he was able to do, it was like he was slowing down time, and he could theoretically, one scene he grabbed a stormtrooper, and after he had shot his blaster, and he pulled him over and had the blaster shoot himself. And so
that was
things
cool.
like that. Things like that look pretty cool. Hopefully, it doesn't get too repetitive. I mean, that could be something where, you know, it maybe it's a too OP move or something, and you know you're just doing it every time. But I did like seeing Cal go against those like Sith Knights, or kind of, you know, with the energy sticks, and it looked like a true, you know, duel. And I think you had mentioned this before about how, I mean, they're playing on easy or something, so it looks pretty like a breeze. But I mean, I'm guessing, you know, if you get on normal and stuff, as the enemies jack up in levels, it's going to be a bit more difficult. But I'm with you. I mean, I'm a big Star Wars fan, so anything that you can get a hands on it's pure canon too. And
that's what I was going to bring up. That's cool.
It's set in between episodes 3 and 4 after Emperor Palpatine dropped that Order 66, and so I'm looking forward to that. What is that, November 15th?
November 8th or 15th, something like that, yep.
Yeah, so that's something I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, me too.
Other than that, EA went over, obviously, their sports games, you know, Madden, FIFA, same old. And then, what did they talk about?
They had a quick Apex update for Season 2.
Apex, right.
There's a new legend coming into the game. To be honest, I didn't watch it that much. I haven't played Apex in a while. And then they talked about The Sims 4 for a minute also.
Yeah, Sims 4, nice.
Hey, people buy it, I guess. I don't know.
With Apex, I know we've talked to a couple of our buddies who still religiously play that. And I know they're telling us about the new Elite multiplayer, where it's their version of the...
it's like a ranked playlist, basically.
Ranked, thank you, yes. And based on what they were telling us, it's sort of similar to, I think, what Fortnite is doing with their competitive, where you get more points for the place you finish versus the amount of kills that you might get. So they would tell us that a lot of games, the circle, the storm would be very small, but there would still be 20, 25 people remaining, and a lot of people are camping to try and get those points. And I just wish there was a better way to do these competitive modes while still maintaining the same amount of action. Oh wait, there is. Make kills more weighted. Boom, problem solved. I honestly, I don't know why the finish about what place you finish is ranked is counted so heavily. It just encourages camping.
Yeah, I think they need to tweak that, but I don't know. It's tough. I would be shocked if for the next season, next go around, it's not changed, because you're right, it's pretty campy.
I mean, when we watch, you know, Fortnite World Cup and shit like that,
there's
it's
50
always
people
just,
left in the storm. Yeah, I mean, it's tough because the entire point of the game is to be the last person standing. Like the entire genre, that's the entire point. So you have to wait it. It's just depends what you're going for. You just got to find a balance.
Right, and I don't get me wrong. I understand, you know, weighting it based on where you'd finish, but they need to increase the amount of kills heavily.
Yep, I totally agree.
Maintain some sort of entertainment with that.
Yep, for sure.
All right, so that was EA.
That's it for EA.
EA Play, EA.
It's in the game.
What, after that, so the next big one was Microsoft, Xbox.
Yep, Microsoft Sunday.
So you and I have two very distinct opinions, or is that the correct word? Distinct? Different?
Yep, that works.
Whatever.
That's a word.
Opinions based on how Phil Spencer and co. did at E3.
Yeah.
How about I take this one first, okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
So you can go to coffeescorner.com. I have a E3 winners and losers article set up. And I thought Microsoft was a loser of E3. I thought with Sony not being there, this was a premier opportunity for Microsoft to essentially come in and say, hey, look, this is why you need to get on the Xbox train. All right. We understand, you know, the 360 was the popular, you know, system when it came out. It absolutely destroyed the PS3 back then.
Yeah, it crushed it.
And I mean, you and I were on the Xbox train. We were riding that shit.
Yeah.
And then we jumped back over to PS4. Yes, we picked up an Xbox One when it was only $20. We got into it, but it still didn't really feel like it was that worth.
Just
Yours is collecting dust.
Yeah.
Mine is a glorified Netflix machine. All right.
Yeah.
So I thought, going into this was a great opportunity for Microsoft to come out and be like, bang, bang, bang. This is what we're going to do, right? And I think at the end of the day, they were like, bang, and that was it. I talked to you, on the phone, after the fact, and yes, you brought me a bit more closer to the understanding side. I was just ripping them to shreds, but I still felt a bit disappointed. I mean, the majority of these games that they showed were third-party games.
Yeah.
Yes, granted, Microsoft had the biggest moment of E3 when motherfucking Keanu Reeves came out and was just like, boom, I'm in Cyberpunk 2077. That's great and all. They had the moment of E3, but Cyberpunk is a third-party game. We're most likely going to play that on either PS4 or PC,
On a PC 100%.
Absolutely. And so it's like, they didn't do anything that made me think, wow, like I need to get back into these Xbox games. I mean, they did. One of the things I really loved was their whole Game Pass thing. I know you and I have talked about that in the past about what exactly does it entail, and honestly, Game Pass is pretty cool. I did download that. I signed up for it, and I was able to download like 7 games for $1. So that's pretty cool. It's like the modern day Blockbuster where I can go through and download some shit and play it. I mean, I played Borderlands 2 for about 30 minutes, and I honestly didn't like it. So
that was enough of that. On to the next one.
Yeah, and you're right. I won't be playing that anymore. I probably won't play Borderlands 3. So that was nice. Other than that, there were some cool things that they showed off. I mean, that Blair Witch looked pretty cool. The Ori and the Will and the Wisps. I still want to play the first one. And then they talked about Gears of War 5, which had no gameplay.
Ass. Yeah, it was weird.
Tell me why Gears 5 comes out September 10th, my birthday, with no gameplay. It's only 3 months away. I will give you that.
It's like one of their big first-party games. They showed nothing. It was very odd.
And then the other big first-party, and I mean, I might give you some wiggle room on this, but why did we get another 3-4 minute cinematic trailer of Halo? I mean, we got the same shit last year, and it told us nothing different.
I guess my question is, would you rather them just not show Halo then, and have people asking where's Halo? Because they had to show Halo because they were announcing that it's a launch title with next gen, and they didn't. It's clearly not ready to show gameplay, so they're kind of stuck in a CGI trailer situation.
And that brings up an excellent point. And I talked to you about this, and my thing is, why even come to E3 then? Sony clearly had nothing to show. They didn't have any new shit to show for their games that they showed last year. They didn't have any new info about the PS5 or whatever the fuck it's going to be called. And so they took the hit and didn't go. And so, whereas Microsoft, I mean, you made the point saying that, maybe there's some sort of business obligation that they have to go there, which, again, would be understandable. But if not, it doesn't really make sense to me why they would go, and they were up there for what, an hour and a half, and they really didn't show a whole lot. A lot of this stuff can have been done on like just a separate, like an EA Play certain similar thing like that.
Yeah.
Yes, they are in the process of stockpiling these studios. They announced that they, purchased Double Fine Production.
Another one.
Right. They're in charge of Psychonauts, and so they'll be start making exclusive games on there. I was pretty disappointed not to have seen any sort of Fable or just any sort of exclusive RPG. And yes, you told me that, Xbox and Phil, they're wanting to give the gamers power to play wherever they want, and etc. And I get it, but why even have console then? Why have an Xbox? I mean,
I think in a few years there won't be an Xbox after this. Like, I think this is the last hardware refresh Xbox does. I think you're on it. Like, this is the last one coming out next year.
I thought I saw.
That would be my guess. At least.
Maybe I'm making this up, but I swear I saw an article or something saying that Phil said that there would be another Xbox after the next one.
Maybe.
But
because I figure their whole position is it's not Microsoft Game Studios anymore. It's Xbox Game Studios. Like they're just branding Xbox as like a gaming platform, whether that be streaming or play from your Chromecast or from your phone or from your whatever. Like it's just going to be Xbox. People associate more with like Xbox games and the Xbox service itself rather than like the console. I think that's where they're going. But for like an E3 like this where it's like, ah shit, PlayStation's not there and you gotta pull it out. Like they didn't really talk about xCloud that much, which was like apparently one of their coolest things that you could try at E3, which I didn't get to try. And then they just kind of didn't even. I mean, I don't know if I expected them to announce, like the price and everything for next gen, but it was just kind of like another teaser trailer, like PlayStation did in that weird news article, where it was just like, oh, here's our specs. So I mean, at least it was better than PlayStation doing that one-off random interview. But yeah, it was a little like, I don't know.
And yeah, I mean, I at first I was kind of with you about the whole, regarding Project Scarlet. I thought, oh, we're about to see, a fucking name drop, price, just how it looks, a design, like anything like that, a controller. And I mean, yeah, they said it's going to be 4 times more powerful than Xbox One X. Frame rates up to 120. That's never been seen on console before. Have SSD, just like, what Sony said for theirs. They did say it's Project Scarlet will be out holiday 2020.
Yep.
Apparently, what they say, it eats monsters for breakfast. That's what someone said. I wrote that down.
That's a good quote.
And then they also said that Halo Infinite will launch alongside it. I don't know if alongside it, but in holiday 2020.
Yeah, makes sense.
And at first I was just raging over the fact that, like, we didn't learn anything else, but I did go back and I looked up, when exactly they announced the Xbox One and the 360, and apparently they did that in the same calendar year of when they released it. So makes sense, I guess. I get it. I was a little bit disappointed that it's not coming out before holiday 2020. I thought that based on how well the Switch did in March, I thought that would be a prime spot for them to get a jump on Sony. But whatever, I guess that happens. And then besides that, what was I going to say? They showed off George R. R. Martin's weird-ass Elden Ring that, again, nobody knows anything else about. Get out of here, moths and mosquitoes. God. What else is here? They had that Dragon Ball Z action RPG that looked pretty lit.
I played that one.
Of that. And we'll do a thing of all the shit that you played.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, again, ultimately, there was just no gameplay. It was just a shitload of cinematic trailers.
That is true. Except for a lot of those indies was gameplay, but that doesn't really... I mean, I know what you mean. None of the AAAs had gameplay, really. So
right. So, I mean...
it was cool. It was cool to be there. That was the first conference I ever went to. Their theater is fucking huge.
Yeah. You saw Keanu... You breathed.
I breathed
the same air.
People were going wild when he came out. It was funny.
Yeah?
It was good though. I think for me it just ranks higher on my list from all the conferences. I don't disagree with any of your points. I think they're leaning super hard into this was like a show for Xbox fans already, in my opinion, and next year hopefully it's a show for trying to convince people to become Xbox fans when they're launching new hardware, the new whatever.
Yeah.
Excuse me. They showed 60 games, so you can't call them out for not showing stuff. It just might not be stuff that we're wanting to play. And it's interesting too, I think about it, because it's like all these small indies or these other games that are showing on the Xbox show, even if they're cross-platform, how would anybody ever know about these video games if they weren't shown at Xbox's conference? Like nobody would ever get the chance to see them. So in that regard too, it's kind of like what Greg Miller.
Yeah,
it's kind of funny showcase. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of an opportunity for some of those smaller guys. Granted, it's on Xbox's stage and you want the AAAs from that, but in that filler year, I guess it makes sense. They help the homies out a bit.
Yeah, and you also made a point to me off I don't know what this is, off camera, off podcast,
off microphone,
off microphone, about how Microsoft did, they recently just bought, or do we say they bought studios?
Yeah, they've acquired like 8 studios the last 2 years or something.
That's a good word. They've acquired how many?
Mm-hmm. I think it's 7 or 8. I'd have to go look. It seems like that many, because I think, or maybe it's not that many.
I wrote down
last
14.
year was. I have to look at all the dates because I'm just trying to think. Last E3 there was like 5 or 6, and then the one this year, maybe stuff in between, not at E3s. I don't remember, to be honest.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, you made a good point about how they've acquired a lot of studios within the last year.
Yeah.
So odds are, they probably haven't been working a hell of a lot on some things that would be ready to be shown. But again, I mean, that just leads me into the thing of, I guess ultimately this is a sort of transition year.
Yeah. Even for them.
I mean, you can. I think
for everybody, this entire E3 was a transition E3. Yeah,
exactly. I think across the board, I think ultimately there was a lot more disappointments or letdowns this E3 than there were like the quality of or quantity of good announcements. Like the big moments were really big, like Keanu, and then we'll get into the things from Bethesda and Ubisoft. Yeah. But ultimately, as a whole, I think there were kind of more letdowns. I don't know.
I agree. I mean, last year was so massive too. I think people's expectations were just based on that. It was
right.
Yeah.
Anything else to add for Microsoft?
Nope. They better show up next year with all those first-party studios games, though. I'm sure they will. I mean, I'm sure you're going to show up next year and hear about all these, should I say it? Fable 4 and whatever else that all these new studios.
Fable 4? Is that what you said?
Yeah, that all these new studios are hopefully working on, and it's going to be like
me, right? God.
It's going to be like, oh, holiday 20 launch. They're going to launch with like all these games. Calling it now. You're going to see 5 or 6 new first-party games that launch with Scarlet next year, guaranteed.
I guess, but at the same time, you don't want to be, but it's like you don't want to launch too many though, because then people.
Okay, not like the month the console comes out. But yeah.
No, I know what you mean, but it's like even if let's say they launch in, let's say Scarlet were to launch in November.
Yeah.
Right, November 2020.
Yeah.
Then. So what does that? I mean, they have to if they're gonna launch games before, so then they're for sure gonna be I mean, I guess they do backwards compatibility anyway.
I think everything's going to be like quasi cross-platform, yeah.
Okay, so you're saying that
I would assume.
Let's say they're like, hey, we've been working on Fable 4 secretly, and it's going to be launched in September.
Maybe, yeah.
You'll still be able to play it on Scarlet then?
Probably, and it just is at the 120 frames and whatever. I have no idea. Or does that mean they don't have anything until it actually comes out, and then when the new console comes out, you can play them on both, and there's just a lot of spring games, maybe.
That's what I mean too. Yeah,
something like that.
I just don't get why there's no fucking exclusive RPG, but
they have those Japanese ones they were showing, which I don't know anything about.
Which ones?
There's like the biggest Japanese MMORPG ever on the face of the earth coming to Xbox first or something like that.
Fantasy Star Online too.
Yeah, that one. Mm-hmm. I don't know anything about that, but they made it seem real intense.
Yeah, maybe I'll check that out. We'll see.
Okay.
All right, so next up was Bethesda. So last year, Fallout 76 came out, and it kind of didn't hit home for a lot of people. Todd Howard explained that they knew that Fallout 76 wasn't ready to be released, but they did it anyway. Not really sure why that is, but Bethesda did announce that they will be adding a 52-player battle royale known as Nuclear Winter. That's supposed to be coming out later this fall. I do believe that there's going to be a free beta. Either it already happened or sometime in the near future. But I guess the biggest thing that people lost their shit over was NPCs will be in Fallout 76 with dialogue trees and new quests. I don't know about you, but I can't even imagine how fucked up a game can be if people are losing their shit over NPCs.
It's tough,
but hey, yep, it is tough out there in the streets. Moving on, they talked about Rage 2, Insanity Rules. I will not play Rage 2. I don't think you're gonna play that, are you?
Rage 2, no.
Yeah. Wolfenstein Youngblood, that's gonna be coming out July 26th, so that's OP.
You gonna give that one a little go?
Yeah, I played New Colossus, and I don't believe you did.
I did not.
Even though I have
I watched you play it for a little bit.
You've watched me play it. All right. Yeah, I thought the game was pretty cool, actually. That's the first Wolfenstein game I played, so I'm pretty sure I missed out on some other great games. And so I'll probably definitely give Youngblood a try.
Cool.
We got Doom Eternal. So that was one of the games I think we did see like some gameplay on stage, and oh my god, that just looks so sick. And
fun.
I remember the first Doom. I mean, we were playing that, and just the music also, just like, just, oh man, it was great. So that's going to be November 22nd. I don't know why I thought that was coming out relatively soon, but I guess I'll wait a few more months on that.
Did that get delayed?
I don't think it did. I think they might have just said 2019, and for some reason I kept thinking it was summer, because that was when the last one came out. The last one came out in May.
Oh, maybe that's why we thought it, yeah.
So it was like May 2017.
Got it.
So, but the two biggest news that Bethesda dropped on us was two brand new IPs that look lit as fuck. Ghostwire Tokyo and Deathloop. So, Ghostwire Tokyo looks like it's going to be, they said it was an action adventure, and the cinematic trailer, it looked just so realistic. It started with there was guys, again, just, people waiting for transit, walking around Tokyo, doing their thing, and then boom, it was like Thanos just snapped his fingers and they all disappeared. Boom. And after that, there was some like wizard type shit. There was people with mystic powers. It was just anything that you could think of was just flying on screen. And essentially, it's just that people are missing and you got to save humanity in some way, shape, or form. So that's coming from, I think it's Tango Gameworks. They are the people who brought us Evil Within, and Evil Within was fucking great. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, that's cool. And I don't know, I can't remember her name. I apologize, but the presenter was.
Oh my god!
I like when they bring devs out there that have like some character to them. Keeps it interesting,
Wait, I got it right here. It is her name is, forgive my pronunciation, Ikumi Nakamura. She was
that's right.
She was the former lead artist for the Evil Within, and now she's the director of Ghostwire Tokyo.
Yeah, good for her.
And
She's excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, she was great up there, and like you said, I love seeing these devs up there explaining their games,
Yeah.
show that they're people too.
Yeah.
So, in addition to Ghostwire Tokyo, like I said, they showed Deathloop. So, this trailer showed like two assassins going back and forth, or I don't know if they would consider assassins, but just two people, a guy and a girl, and they were going off and just killing each other, repeatedly. But the thing was, it was a sort of Groundhog Day type thing where it was just rewind it back and started killing them again. So that intrigued me a little bit to see what exactly this game is going to entail. I wonder if there's going to be any sort of like story element behind it, like they keep killing each other, but then they decide, we need to work together to figure out who is behind this or something.
Yeah.
But like I said in my article, like it's always exciting to see new IPs get announced, and so especially these two that just look like they're gonna be fucking bangers.
Yeah, I'm about it. The Deathloop one to me in particular looked cool. I mean, you don't know anything about it other than that CGI trailer, but it looked fun if it's anything like the trailer was.
Exactly. So that pretty much wrapped up Bethesda, I think. Did I miss anything on that?
No, I think you hit the main points. I showed a mobile game for way too long.
Which one was that one?
I honestly can't remember. I mean, they talked about what was it? The Elder Scrolls mobile game. I can't remember.
Oh yeah. That was one thing. We didn't see Elder Scrolls 6, but I think they already announced that they wouldn't be showing.
They said
that.
they weren't going to be showing it, or Starfield. Yeah.
Or Starfield. So
I mean, all in all, not a bad conference. I'd put that like right in the middle of the pack conference wise for me at least.
I had Bethesda a winner, for trying to clean up Fallout. Thank you, Aubrey. My brother turned on the patio light. It's now dark out here, and I was just sitting in darkness.
You think darkness is your ally?
Wow, speaking about that, let's just real quick. What was I going to say? Rocksteady. They weren't there. I mean, I know they announced beforehand they weren't coming, but damn it, that sucks. I wish we'd gotten another Batman game, or at least know for a fact that they're making something. I know Barrett Courtney over at Kind of Funny was really wanting a new Batman game, and I'm with him on that. I wish there was something new. You never played those?
Nope. I'm not super into Batman, though. I should try them. If there's a new one, I'll try it. Batman's not my favorite of superheroes.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. But the games are pretty cool, and you know what? You know where you can play those games?
Game Pass.
Game Pass. Moving on. Square Enix.
Yeah, just gonna skip the Ubisoft one. Okay, it's chill. It's chill.
Did they go next?
Yep, they did. They did.
You know why? You know why I skipped to my notes?
Why?
Because I didn't watch the conference.
You didn't. You're right. Well, then I'll give the rundown.
Yeah, let's do Ubisoft. What happened?
First game was Watch Dogs Legion. Showed it for about 20-25 minutes. I mean, I'm biased for all these things, so I'm gonna say they're all cool. Like up front.
Yeah, we need some.
I mean, just keep that in mind here.
Transparency here.
Just keep that in mind. It's set in like a kind of semi-futuristic London, not too far off in the future. You can play as any NPC. There's no main character. You go around and you recruit a person. So anybody you see on the screen, you can play. You basically just have to do like a discovery mission to like win that person over, and then they become part of your arsenal, which is up to I think 20 characters. So that's kind of cool. There's permadeath, so if somebody dies, they're dead. Be careful. But you can play as old grannies like they showed in the trailer, or MI6 agents, or whatever you want to do. So it's cool.
Okay.
The next, I'm gonna hit the main ones here. The next thing was I don't remember the order. Some Division 2 updates. I haven't played Division 2 in a little bit, but for people that are still into that, they showed more season pass info, going back to Coney Island for episode 3 of the season pass. So that's cool.
We need to get back and get our asses handed to ourselves again
in the raid again. Yeah, that's rough. It's rough out there. After that, there was Rainbow Six updates. New season just started. After that, there was a new Rainbow Six game, Rainbow Six Quarantine, which is
what was that now?
It's a PvE game rather than PvP like Rainbow Six Siege. So
there's absolutely no multiplayer?
There's absolutely no multiplayer. So it's a total distinction. They want one to be PvE, one to be PvP. So that's a thing. 3-player co-op PvE.
Question.
See.
So does that mean, okay, what was it called? Rainbow Six Quarantine?
Yeah.
Okay, so you said that and then for Rainbow Six Siege, they're adding more shit to it?
Yeah, Rainbow Six Siege, they're always adding 2 new operators every season, and either a reworked map or a new map. Yeah. They've already publicly said they want to have 100 operators in Rainbow Six Siege.
So basically what I'm trying to say is that Rainbow Six Siege is going to be their PvP game. Like, they will not release another
correct
Rainbow Six. Okay.
Yeah, Rainbow Six, they've already, I think the studio developer basically has already said they're working right now on how to bring it up to all the capabilities of next gen, but you're not going to have to buy a new Rainbow Six PvP game.
Hey, that's pretty sick. These certain games are becoming services. You see Destiny, like
same thing.
Division and Rainbow Six. I'm a fan.
So that was shown. There was a release date of early 2019 for that one. I should mention Watch Dogs release date. Did they show a release date?
November 22nd, I think.
No, Watch Dogs is March of 2020.
I lied.
That they did show that.
Comes out November 22nd. Something does.
Rainbow Six was early 2020. Watch Dogs March 2020, and then they showed. I almost called the code name Omega Lol. Gods and Monsters, which is kind of a Breath of the Wild-ish, is what people are comparing it to. Action adventure game. So more cartoony, but set in like the Greek. I don't know if it's Greek even, but like the mythology section of the world, because they've been leaning into that a little bit with Odyssey, and it's coming from the same guys that did guys and gals that did Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So that looks cool, and they had a release date of February 2020 for that one.
Yeah, they did say it was gonna be the Greek gods, and that's something I love me some Greek gods. So pencil me in for that.
And I think the only last thing was, as everybody else, there was a subscription service that was announced. So, that's a thing if you're into that.
The Uplay thing, right?
$14.99 Uplay Plus.
Ooh. All right. Yeah, I mean...
I think that's it, though.
Based on what you told me...
I'm just trying to make sure I don't say anything that wasn't actually there, Yeah. It's tough right now.
Based on what you said, I mean, I played the first Watch Dogs. It was a free game I got with my Xbox One, and I actually really enjoyed it. I didn't beat it or anything, but I liked the concept of it. I skipped Watch Dogs 2. I was one of the many people who failed to play a very good game, and I'm actually glad that they're doing another one, because I do like the fucking mosquitoes, God. I like the concept of it. I really do. I like how what you're saying, that there's this new permadeath and how you can recruit basically literally anybody you see.
Any character you see. Yeah.
Yes, NPCs. Woo!
Now playable characters.
Take a lesson, Bethesda. You know,
yeah. Well,
Ubisoft over
that
here.
Meme. That's funny. The other
really?
thing I forgot is, there's memes like that. The only one I missed was Ghost Recon Breakpoint. I missed it because they already announced it, but it was there.
Oh, John Bernthal came on stage.
They showed a John Bernthal trailer, which I think that's my favorite. Yeah, with his dog, brought him on stage. Not sure why the dog was there, but he was there.
The Holy Trinity, Keanu Reeves, Nakamura, the doggo.
Lol. But that was good. So he was there, and then the conference ended, and then it was Square Enix.
Nice. I mean, I had Ubisoft as one of my winners as well. I mean, I thought going into E3 they were kind of in this unique position where, you know, they're coming off Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Yeah. Arguably, you know, some people say it could be their best game in the series. I mean, I'm still a brand new Assassin's Creed. I only started in Origins, and I didn't like Origins, but I loved Odyssey.
Yeah, I like Odyssey better too.
And then other than that, I mean, obviously, you know, a lot of us didn't think that we were going to see anything about Beyond Good and Evil 2. People still had a pipe dream about, you know, Splinter Cell. So without those, you know, heavy hitters, I thought it was pretty cool to see them do Watch Dogs, Legion, and, you know, still show off the new IP in Gods and Monsters. So I think Ubisoft is riding a pretty good high right now.
Yeah, no, not bad. Yeah.
So, excuse me, like you said, moving on to Square Enix. I had them as partial winners. So, I thought they absolutely killed it when it came to Final Fantasy. Obviously,
which one?
Just the whole.
Oh, the whole of Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy fans should be out there just loving life right now, because
I'm sure they are.
First of all, obviously it's been a running, you know, gag about when exactly we're going to see, you know, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Well, joke's on you. It's coming March 3rd, 2020. It's still going to be episodic, so that's going to be the first installment. Mm-hmm. Can you believe out of all the games you can think that we would see a lot of gameplay? I mean, we're already seeing gameplay from Final Fantasy VII Remake, but the amount of gameplay we saw from that game in their conference was outstanding. You know, we finally saw Tifa, I can't remember her name, Tifa, I think it is, come in, and she was still, you know, beating people's asses with her two fists, and Cloud and Barrett, seeing them go against the Shinra Scorpion thing at the end again, that boss, and, you know, just looking about how Midgar's is looking, and the game just looks fantastic. And so, plus, you know, after the fact, just hearing people go and play it. I know Tim Geddes from Kind of Funny was just in love with it. I mean, that was his personal game of the show, was Final Fantasy VII Remake. And I hope to God that they're, like, in the process of making these other installments. And so it's like, okay, we're going to get the first installment March 3rd, 2020. I hope to God we're getting the second one in 2021. Because, honestly, if it takes an additional 2-3 years, I mean, what the fuck's even the point?
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
You know, and it'll be also... Isn't there pre-orders up there right now, right?
I think so, for Final Fantasy, for sure.
And I'm going to assume that it's $60 because they've said that they've added so much new content that this feels like a brand new, like a standalone game. And I think they said it's going to be on 2 Blu-ray discs.
Yeah, I read that also. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a problem with it being episodic. Honestly, the only thing I am weary of is, again, how much time is going to be in between these games, because you're going to have people to just fucking burn through it within, a couple days, right?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I honestly might be one of those people that will take me a week or two, depending on how many hours it takes.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be messing around with it, so we'll see. But like you said, which Final Fantasy, the other surprising news, and this might be generally one of the biggest surprises of E3, is the fact that Square announced that Final Fantasy VIII will be remastered and released sometime this year in 2019. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know if you remember, but I believe it was last year, Square announced that they were, porting Final Fantasy 7 again, porting Final Fantasy 9, porting Final Fantasy 12, and people were just like, okay, well, where the fuck is 8, Yeah. And a lot of people were just losing out hope. There was rumors that the company lost the original code to the game, and that's why they didn't have anything. And so to see it on there was just like mind-blowing. I did play 8. I think the only 2 Final Fantasy games I've beaten are 7 and 10. 8, I played probably a good half of it, and that was when I was, I don't know, 12, 13, so I don't really know exactly what the hell I was doing.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'll most likely get it. I mean, I have 7 on my Switch. I have 9 on my Switch. 9, I kind of stopped playing, but I want to get back to it. I want to replay 10 again. I want to buy 12, and I'll most likely buy 8. I'll just get all of them, and I'll never play them, so it's cool.
Yeah,
but,
cool.
Again, props to Square for giving fans what they've been hoping for, and, I think it's great. Now, on the other side, and this is one of my losers, is unfortunately Marvel's Avengers. So this is, this was announced back in the day where Square and Crystal Dynamics were going to team up and bring their own take on the Marvel's Avengers. Yeah. Now, once that was announced, people were just losing their fucking minds, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they were just going apeshit crazy. However, when we finally saw the game at their conference, it did not meet expectations whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I think, and you say this a lot, you preach this, is that people put themselves in this position because their level of expectation is far too high.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a perfect example of it right here. Is that I don't know what people were expecting because they already said it wasn't going to be the MCU. Okay, there was there was their own take, and people were saying, "Yeah, I'm fine. It's cool. Like we'll take it, right?" And then they start shitting on it. Granted, bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really shit on it here, but again, it's technically a loser just based on the disappointment. But I do believe, like you said, in the past, that this is something where people kind of trap themselves into it. Looking at the game, I mean, it features Iron Man, Hulk, Black Widow, Captain America, and Thor. Apparently, Hawkeye got the shaft. So with the trailer, it shows the Avengers celebrating A Day, I believe it is, in San Francisco.
Yeah.
But then shit just hit the fan when just a group of baddies just start, fucking shit up on the Golden Gate Bridge, and they're led by Taskmaster, and there wasn't really any real gameplay, but it looked like it was like hidden gameplay. They just didn't show the HUD. Because, I mean, the camera was directly behind, just like a third-person game behind, Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, while they were out there, fucking shit up. But there was just no HUD. Yeah. So, I'm pretty sure that was gameplay, but whatever.
Perhaps.
Now, the biggest criticism, though, is the appearance of the heroes. So, again, the game is not supposed to look, feel, be anything relatable to MCU, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which I get, but some of the character models do look a bit, off, but it's whatever. I mean, we'll get used to them when we start playing with it. I think it's just because people are probably so fresh off of Endgame and just the MCU as a whole that it's tough, to compare these things. I say it a lot with DC properties where you have so many characters out there with different versions. People are easy to compare them to each other, right?
Yeah.
So it's whatever. So honestly, I'm interested to see how this game shapes up to be. I'm surprised to see they dropped a release date of May 15, 2020. Yep. I'm interested to see if they honor that or if it doesn't get pushed back to holiday. Maybe it gets released with all the other next-gen stuff.
Yeah, maybe.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you saw this on Twitter or not, but Square and or Crystal, whoever's in charge, said that they basically, heard the criticism about the character models, but they are not, in fact, going to go and, change them. It is what it is. And, I applaud that,
I'm good with that, too.
It's, I mean, yes, and I'm just thinking now of just playing devil's advocate here, is that well, why didn't you say that for Sonic, the movie, you know? Why didn't you say, oh, well, they should have just kept Sonic the way it is? Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess you can pull hairs on that one. Sonic looked like an abomination, but I don't know.
Yeah, they just basically, like, the Avengers character models just kind of look like stunt doubles or something. Compared to the MCU characters, it's just because you're so used to seeing them all the time. Like, it's not...
Right.
It's natural for people to compare them, you know?
Exactly. So, I think it was a mix of just the trailer. I think just the trailer itself being a letdown. Like, I think it was easier. It was easier for people to shit on the character models, I think, because the trailer may have not met their astronomical expectations that they were setting for themselves, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, once the snowball started rolling, it was pretty much unstoppable.
Basically.
What else does Square talk about? Yeah, I already said that.
I think that was it.
Yeah, I mean, they talked about some Dragon Quest shit, Octopath Traveler on PC.
Yeah.
Some Life is Strange 2 stuff. That was about it. What is this?
Man.
Okay, that's nothing there. And so after Square, what else do I have here?
Those were the main ones.
Those are the main ones, right. I'm just looking through some other winners ads. So another winner I had was, in fact, Sony. I thought Sony was another winner of E3 based on my opening monologue of the fact that Sony didn't have shit to show. So why go there?
Not being there. Yeah.
You know, I know a lot of people are saying that, you know, E3 felt different, you know, with Sony not there. But, hey, what are you going to do? You know, they didn't have any new games to show. They are still working on their next-gen console. They have no information to show that. Plus, they do have those state of plays now. So,
God, those are hard to watch sometimes.
I know, but like, I mean, just like with the Nintendo Directs,
I mean,
they've had what, 2?
Yeah,
3 maybe, and then not only that, but they have PSX also in November, I think.
Yeah.
And so, like, that it just made their decision not show up pretty much easy. So
didn't they cancel the last PSX?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I can't remember that far.
Yeah.
Going on the list, yeah, Keanu Reeves. He was a fucking winner too because like,
he always is.
It's Keanu Reeves, man. Like it's the year of Keanu, and I think first I know there's been a lot of movie stars making the crossover to games like throughout the years. I just did a quick Google search earlier, but I don't think any of them maybe have reached the level of, say, like, we have Norman Reedus coming in for Death Stranding. We have Keanu Reeves now in Cyberpunk. The other big one in the past was what the fuck's his name? The dude who was now a pedophile. Kevin Spacey. He was in Call of Duty.
That's right.
So
John Bernthal's in Breakpoint.
That was the other one. Yeah, that was the third one. Thank you, John Bernthal.
Yeah.
John Bernthal too. And so I wonder if more and more people are going to start making these, appearances.
I think so. I think it's the line between Hollywood and games is just going to kind of merge a little bit and blur the next few years as everything kind of comes like just one entertainment sphere,
Especially now with these games looking how they look now.
Yep, totally.
They look like fucking movies.
Yep.
And then get out of here, mosquito. Losers, like I said, Microsoft. Overall gameplay, like I mentioned before, there was a lack of it.
Yeah.
It was just weird to see games like Gears 5 not have anything. But then I would hear people say that you'd go out and play on the show floor and there'd be gameplay. Well, why the hell did you show us that?
Yeah, like I saw Avengers gameplay.
Exactly. I mean, I
don't know. I don't know why they didn't show that.
And that was open to the public, right?
That was open to the public. You had to wait in line for like 2 hours, but technically you could see it.
So why didn't they show that to everybody else? We're not all at E3, unfortunately.
To be fair, not to be that guy, but it didn't look that good.
Got him. And then finally, one of the biggest losers, Dr. Disrespect.
Lol.
So, if you guys don't know, I need to edit his name in this. Dr. Disrespect, big time Twitch streamer. He was down at E3 and he decided to do some in real life streams. Well, as I mentioned in my article here, it's all fun and games until someone films in the bathroom. I believe someone said, well, I think it might have been Shroud or Cypher PK, but one of those guys had said, well, like if it was one time, then it could have been a mistake, but he did like 4 times, so it's like,
Did he?
the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
You know?
It's tough.
So obviously, he was banned from Twitch.
He's still banned right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say the length of the ban has not been, set.
It's tricky because apparently filming in a bathroom is illegal in the state of California.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it's kind of, I was hearing people talk about this, like anytime any streamer takes a big break. I mean, honestly, he cheated on his wife before and was gone for a minute while he was working on his family issues, quote unquote, and he came back and his stream was bigger than ever.
Right.
So this is probably going to work out for him in that same way, unfortunately.
Right. He did stream an apology, I believe, stating that, mistakes were made, he'll do better in the future.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully he's sincere about it, but
I guess he had some production guy or his camera guy too that was like kind of leading it. Like, I mean, that's on that dude also. Like, come on.
Exactly. I don't know.
It's a team failure.
Yeah, I don't know what him or the person behind the camera was thinking.
Yeah. Yep.
It's
just a lapse in judgment. I don't think it was anything malicious, but it's a bummer.
Yeah, I mean, based on shit. Yeah, you're right. So,
yeah. See what happens.
Yeah, so that kind of wraps up the whole recap. Let's see what time we got. Was it like whatever? Just real quick. I mean, you gonna go over some of the games you played down there?
Oh yeah.
We'll wrap it up.
Played the Dragon Ball Z game for about 10-15 minutes. It was fun. It seemed cool. Yeah. I honestly have never played Dragon Ball games, but the fighting was fun.
Nice.
It felt like Dragon Ball Fighter Z mixed with like an RPG.
Okay, cool.
Like
cool.
like a half open world Dragon Ball Fighter Z thing.
I like that.
That's my takeaway. Yep. But it was fun. And then I saw Cyberpunk 2077. It was kind of the same thing as Avengers, them and Avengers. It was stand in line for a while, and then you could see a dev doing gameplay, but you didn't get to play it yourself. So they showed about a half-hour Cyberpunk game. Looked super cool. It was pretty slow paced, but I think that's because they had a commentator guy, so they had to kind of walk everywhere instead of run, and it just seems slower. But I think when you're actually playing it, it won't feel that way. But it looked cool. There's like hacking is a big component of it, kind of like Watch Dogs, interestingly enough.
Ooh, okay, I like that.
There's different character classes and builds and skill trees and weapons and vehicles, and it's basically like a GTA in the future with RPG elements.
I'm really hoping that I assume you shoot and shit and like combat. I hope it's
It looked fun. Like I saw. The combat looked. No, it didn't. The combat didn't look like GTA because it's first person also, so it's a bit different.
First person, okay.
But it's hard to tell like if the shooting and stuff is fun until you do it yourself.
Yeah, I feel you.
But that was cool. Avengers, I mentioned earlier, I didn't think looked that great. It kind of looked like a stepchild to Spider-Man PS4 from last year almost, which is probably a bit harsh. I'm sure when it comes out it'll be a lot better. It just looked really unpolished, and that's probably why it wasn't in the conference itself. Because at one point there was like an audio line that wouldn't start, so he was just like hovering there as Iron Man for, I kid you not, like 15 seconds till the audio line played.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was a lot of QuickTime events in the demo, and then just like graphically it looked fairly unstable.
Yo, I was gonna mention, what do you think about that whole, they're in San Francisco, and then Spider-Man mentions in his game how, I wish, they would use this tower more often, but they're always over there on the West Coast.
I like it. Crossover. Hit me with it. But the gameplay will be fun enough, I think. It's cool that it's level-based. It's just a different take, but I'm okay with that. Seems fun. I assume you play as a hero per character or per level. You're probably not swapping in and out, but I have no idea.
Hey, guess what?
But all the characters look fun. The Thor and the Hulk look the most fun. Iron Man and Black Widow did not look that great, and Captain America was in the middle. That's my hot take.
Hey, guess what's on TV right now? They're watching in there.
Avengers?
The Office.
Condoned.
It looks like it's a later one. There's a lady. I don't know who she is.
That's funny. What else? Anyway. Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker saga.
Oh, nice. There you go.
If that's a $60 game, that's a very good value. It's not like a remake of the old Lego Star Wars games. It's a total new game, and you get to play all 9 movies. Absolutely. And it's on Stadia.
That's busted.
So even more absolutely.
And you purchased Stadia. I don't think we mentioned that
I
before.
pre-ordered. I
Nice.
pre-ordered Stadia, $129. Get my name. Get that Chromecast Ultra. Get that controller. It'll be useful for me because I can play on the go more than you can. So I think
I'm gonna pre-order it just so you don't get Ralph.
I hate you. My name's gonna be Coffee Black. What do you mean?
Oh,
that was it. I don't think there's any like other major game. I played like some knickknacks here and there, but nothing too crazy.
It's with that one guy, California.
Robert California?
Yeah, he's in it. So is Michael gone?
Michael's gone, yeah.
Fuck these episodes. I've never seen them. Nice. So you got some good hands-on game experience there. So if you had to pick a game out of, looking at them and, I know we're playing, what would you say was like your most impressive,
I mean, it's got to be Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk looked cool, and then I think Watch Dogs was probably my number 2.
Transparency, he worked for Ubisoft.
I worked for Ubisoft.
No, yeah. I mean, those are two good picks. I mean, I would honestly
those that I saw live in person, at least.
Yeah,
I'm saying. Yeah.
I mean, those would probably be in my top 5 if I had to do one. I would. I mean, I'm still hung up with that Ghostwire Tokyo. I think that looks fucking badass.
Yeah, cool.
But yeah, other than that, I would say Final Fantasy VII Remake. I mean, it's happening. It's finally coming. So
fair enough.
There you go. All right, Pop. I mean, that probably will wrap us up here for a while because, like you mentioned,
I'll be gone.
What? The podcast started about a day ago. God. So you're going to be over in Greece, in Europe, living it up, living your best life. You're going to be gone for, what'd you say, 2 weeks?
See you after the 4th of July.
See you after the 4th of July. Well, I don't need you anyway. But when you get back, we did buy Divinity Original Sin 2.
Oh, that's right, I bought that. I should install it.
Yes, you did. So you can get that installed before you leave so that when you get back, we can... So what I plan on doing is probably doing a campaign with you. Yeah. Because you had to start it with certain people, and so like I can play with the people in my house, and then I can just like walk you through shit or whatever.
Yeah, that sounds good.
But other than that, hope you have a good time out there, Pop.
Have fun in Wisconsin.
No, yeah, I'm going to fly back to Phoenix Wednesday morning. My flight's at 5 in the morning, so getting up bright and early. And other than that, does it for us here. We'll get this up there uploaded. And Ted, I hope you have a nice trip, and we will be in touch. All you people out there, hope you stay safe.
Thanks,
and
buddy.
We'll see you when you see you. All right, you got anything else to add?
Nope. Adios, amigo.
Adios, amigo. See ya.
The pain is in my